Hello, you beautiful people. So, I know that the official live stream for patch 3.0 just ended a couple of hours ago, and if you were watching it, you already know that we're getting a ton of rewards in the next patch. Along with these rewards, though, we just received some massive info related to the new character buffs after the Sparkle and Black Swan buffs, and I'm guessing you clicked on this video because you want to know who is getting buffed and when, right? Well, fortunately for you, you've somehow managed to land on the perfect video to get all this info. Today, I'm mainly going to talk about this new info that we got just after the live stream ended related to the upcoming character buffs, or you can say NOVAFLAREs. By the way, this source who mentioned this info is considered one of the most reliable sources in the community right now, so we can be 100% sure that these NOVAFLAREs are definitely happening soon, likely in version 4.2. Honestly, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I'm personally a very big fan of NOVAFLAREs, just like most of you guys. I mean, who doesn't like their favorite characters getting buffed and being relevant in the top meta teams, right? By the way, the patch 4.0 banners featuring Sparxie and Yaguang along with the reruns are going to be here very soon, and if you're planning on spending on these or any of the future banners, let me recommend Loot Bar to you. Personally, I have been using Loot Bar for over a year, as I use it to gift all the giveaways that I host on my channel along with the top-ups that I do on my account. They are completely safe and uses currency exchange to get you discounts on the stellar jades or shards that you were going to buy anyway. On top of this, they've got tens of thousands of 5-star reviews, and by using or clicking on my link, you can save over 25% on all of your purchases. Yep, the process to use Loot Bar is super simple. Just click the pack you want, enter your in-game UID along with the region, and your top-up is delivered within minutes. Also, new users get a 10% off coupon, and returning users can still grab a 5% or 3% off just by clicking my link, so do keep that in mind. Anyways, with the sponsor done, it's about time for me to stop with the yapping and let's begin without wasting any more of your time or energy. Alright, first of all, let me just be a little biased here and start with the NOVAFLARE info on one of my favorite characters in the entire game. Yep, the first character that is getting buffed in version 4.2 is going to be Firefly, and I won't say this came as a surprise to me. If you watched this video of mine, here I correctly predicted that Firefly is likely going to be a part of the next character buffs, and we've had info on her buff since patch 3.4 ended. Well, as we can all see, this info clearly ended up being correct, and the source who shared this new NOVAFLARE info also stated that Firefly is 100% getting a direct buff. I know that with the Dahlia's release, Firefly already received a pretty significant buff, which was enough to actually bring her back into the meta. Honestly though, let me just be biased here again and say that I'm personally really hyped about this Firefly buff because I genuinely love this character so much, and I guess it's about time to use my E2 Firefly again because she's been benched for quite a while. Moving on, the second character that is 100% getting a NOVAFLARE is none other than Seele. Yep. After 200 years of everyone mentioning her whenever we got a new NOVAFLARE and asking where she was, I guess they finally decided to buff our first limited character of HSR. We all know that Seele is already on the standard banner, so if they do decide to make her buffs good just like they did for Sparkle and Black Swan, she could actually end up being a very decent F2 PDPS as well. Also, for my fellow veteran players who've had Seele since the beginning, I know it was pretty painful to watch Seele slowly fall from the meta, and well, I guess it's about time she makes a small comeback, right? Dude, I remember these Seele mains who were managing to 1 cycle or even 0 cycle Memory of Chaos with her in 3.4 or something, and I can just imagine how insane the Seele showcases will be once she gets buffed properly. Anyways, the next character that is getting buffed is kind of a riddle to us at the moment. Listen, the thing is, the source basically sent us a riddle instead of straight up saying who is getting buffed, and the riddle says that this character is an imaginary male who was defeated and is now a part of Star Rail. At first, I literally jumped in excitement on my chair and almost broke it because I thought Sunday was getting buffed. After calming down though, I realized that 3 characters fit this description quite easily, and these are Dan Hangael, Luo Cha, and of course Sunday. Well, in reality, all these guesses of mine ended up being incorrect, and the character who is actually getting buffed is Welt. Honestly, Welt getting a NOVAFLARE is really interesting to me as this would be our first example of a standard character getting buffed. I personally think this is really good as this opens up the possibility of other standard characters getting buffed as well, and I would honestly be the happiest person whenever they announce a Bronya NOVAFLARE in the future. Well, getting buffed also kind of means there is a small chance of a 4-star character getting buffed, and can you just imagine for a second how good a buffed Tingen would be? Coming back to Welt though, I do think his kit is pretty outdated at this point, and he does have a lot of things in his kit that can be improved to a major amount. Like, if I have to give some examples, they could easily just boost up his damage and try to make him into a proper main DPS, as most of his eidolons are focused around increasing his damage output. I'm not even kidding here, if they buff his numbers, he would easily become the strongest standard banner DPS, because his competition is pretty bad if I had to put it lightly. On the other hand, they could also just lean more into the supportive aspect of his kit with his ultimate, as they can increase the strength of the debuffs that it provides. If they're feeling very crazy though, they could add his Currency War's ability of reversing action value into his normal kit, which would actually be such a cool idea, right? Either way, no matter how they buff his kit, I think Welt is overall a very good character to buff, because he is just so versatile, and his kit can be improved in so many different aspects. Lastly, the final character who is going to get a buff is from Xianzhou Luofu, and that's literally all the info we got. I really thought this character would be Jing Yuan or maybe even Fu Xuan at first, all due to their immense popularity, and also because their kits are kind of outdated at this point. Well, as people usually say, reality is often disappointing, and turns out the character that they're buffing is none other than huohuo. I'm pretty sure most of you guys can tell that I was pretty excited to talk about all the characters that are getting buffed in this video, but honestly, I'm disappointed with the huohuo buff because I just don't think she needs one at all. Now I know a lot of people might point out that I was happy with the Firefly buffs, but not with the huohuo ones, and no, I'm actually not being a hypocrite here. Listen, even if Firefly is strong already, she literally has so many major kit flaws that could easily be addressed, like the fact that she basically doesn't have a talent at all. Not having a talent is pretty bad, right? On the other side, huohuo may be a pretty old character, but her kit design is just so good that she is still relevant in the meta even though other sustains like Hyacinth exists. On top of this, she's even currently the best in slot sustain for sparxie and a ton of other DPS characters, so I have no idea why she's getting buffed at all or what they could really change about her to make her better. Well, there you go. That's all the info that we got on the next batch of NOVAFLAREs coming to HSR. I'm curious now, are you personally hyped for all these upcoming characters that are getting buffed, or maybe you're someone who doesn't main any of these units and don't really care? Lastly, if you actually made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you so much. Also, I didn't mention it before as it gets annoying, but if you liked the video, then do consider subscribing. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you in another one.